welcome you guys to the call today. I'm super excited. I'm going to have, actually, I asked Faye to just chat a little bit about, well, I'm not even going to tell you what she's going to chat about. I'm just going to let her go ahead and kick it off, and I'll wrap up. Go ahead, Faye.
Okay, well, so I wanted to share some of the things that I've been doing lately, and I think some of you have heard, but maybe not all, and Kristen usually gets an earful from me of like all my stories every day, but I just wanted to kind of share just a few things about what's going on with my business. The first thing was I did a soup swap Sunday night. Stephanie and my mom came, and we didn't have anybody else come, so it was a little bit disappointing, but what I ended up doing with it was taking a picture of it still and posting it, and it created a lot of interest. So I'm actually pretty excited that I think next time there will be. And I ran into someone the next day at the salad party, and she said something to the effect of, well, I couldn't think of a healthy recipe to bring, so I know I can't bring anything that's not healthy to your house. And I said, oh, you should have just brought whatever. So I had said bring your favorite recipe, but I think my lesson learned is next time I'm going to say no judgment, like literally bring whatever your favorite recipe is, so that people aren't trying to come up with something that they think passes muster for a Juice Plus party. Right. So I think that that's really my biggest lesson learned. And then the other thing I thought about doing next time was maybe not even calling it a soup swap and just having people over for soup, and maybe just having the team or myself, making a few different soups and just having people come over to sample it and then just swap recipes, maybe something like that. Because I feel like there was an element of intimidation there that I didn't realize would be there, because I'm not literally I made 2 soups last week, and then I made those that night. I'm not good at making soups. So, and I wish people knew that I really truly was just trying to swap recipes. But I had people say they were going to come, but then just for, other reasons, just kept dropping out. So, but I say all that to say that the posting it on my page that we had it created a lot more interest. So, and how I structured it was I just messaged people and invited them and told them to bring their favorite soup in a crock pot or in a pot, and if they had containers to bring to take soup home with them, bring those. Otherwise, I would have the little, I don't know what size they are, but they're like little jelly jar size ones. I had a bunch of those on hand that people could use to take home too. So I think it's a really good idea, and I was just kind of trying to do like a cookie swap, but call it with soup. And so I think that would be something that you could try to start to do. I should have written down this stuff, and so I apologize. The salad party that we had yesterday was a different group of people. So we're still continuing to do salads, but there's not as many people coming, so we're going to back off and just do every other week. And a lot of people ask me, like, how do you get so many new people to the salad parties, or how do you invite to that? And literally, I'll just, like, one of the gals that came last time was someone I met when I was volunteering at the pumpkin patch, and I just said, and she's a stay-at-home mom, and I said, hey, would you be interested in coming and making salads with us? It's a good way to meet people in the community, and we're going to talk about nutrition. So I don't use the words Juice Plus. I just say we're going to talk about nutrition, and I've never had anybody complain or say anything otherwise, and I don't think I've ever had anybody, say, well, I'm not going to come again or not show up because they were surprised that we were going to talk about Juice Plus. So I think that works really well, and it's been really good for Maria and Linda, because they're bringing people, and then the people they're bringing are bringing people, and it's kind of working that way with me as well with some of my friends / customers. They're bringing other people, so it's working out really nice, because even if the people I initially invited aren't customers yet, for example, Melanie was one of my original friends that I invited. She invited her friend Michelle, and now Michelle's one that doesn't miss it, and hers is probably one of the most powerful stories that we tell each week. So she's responsible probably for many more customers. So what else? You wanted me to share, like, maybe how do I say this? When I first started, I sort of felt a little bit backwards, and I know Marcia and Virginia, you're probably past this, so this is more for like the new folks. But I did feel a little bit intimidated and felt like they were doing me a favor if they bought Juice Plus from me. And somewhere along the line, I think it was the summer, probably August, is when it flipped in my head that no, I'm helping them by putting this in front of them. I'm giving them the gift, and if they choose to receive it, then that's great. If they don't, then it's not anything I've done. So once I sort of flipped that in my head, I feel like I've been not just more successful, but much bolder with who I share with. I was in Costco last week and just standing there talking to a mom and dad about pillows, and they had just moved, and eventually I started talking to them about Juice Plus. So I mean, there's like nobody that I won't talk to about Juice Plus now. And then that same night, that was when I went to Image, and then that night when I checked into the hotel, I was talking to this guy, and he was sharing a lot of stuff, and not really anything health related, although at one point he did talk about his disability with the VA, and we were swapping military stories. And I went upstairs to my room, and I told Kristen, I was up there for, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, and I thought, why didn't I share Juice Plus with him? And I know part of it was like, okay, there's probably been like 20 other people because we're having a conference here in this hotel. But I just went back downstairs and told him, I said, you may think this is forward or whatever, but I said, I just really think that you might be interested in this. It could be something that could help you because of all your disability kind of stuff. And to look at him, he's like me. You look at him, you don't think somebody has a disability. So it's like back, neck, whatever problems. But he really appreciated it. I haven't heard from him. He didn't feel comfortable. Like I kind of hinted around, if you're comfortable with me Facebook friending you, then I can do that. And he didn't bite on that. But still, I planted the seed, and he seemed real interested in the business aspect of it too. And I guess that's the other thing that I always try to do, is I always try to, when I meet someone, ask them if they're comfortable with me Facebook friending them or even just messaging them through Facebook. But I always try to make sure that I have a way to follow up with them afterwards. And that way I can either invite them to a live event, or I can invite them to one of our Facebook events. And then I think the other thing is I don't give up on people, which sometimes is a detriment. But I was just telling Stephanie, my friend Carla here, who, gosh, I've been trying to talk to her about Juice Plus since I joined. She has an autoimmune disease. She's kind of like the Bubble Boy. It's the same thing as Bubble Boy. So she's just she just doesn't have an immune system. And I've tried to talk to her, and she just hasn't been real open or wanted to hear about it. And something's changed. But anyway, I just literally came from me with her, and I think she's going to start, I really think she's going to be placed an order. I gave her some capsules to start with, and I'm just so thrilled. So it's just not giving up on people that you really super care about, and just making sure that they care. I mean, and I literally said to her today, I said, I will buy it for you if you will take it, if you will put it in your body. And I think when she heard me say that, then maybe that, kind of, I won't say it changed her mindset, but I think then she really, truly, and I even said to her, we've been trying to get together for so long. She has to go to San Antonio to do infusions, and then she just recently started doing her own infusions at home. But it's just really tough to connect with her between her medical treatment and her work. And anyway, I just said to her, I said, this is why I wanted to meet face to face. I wanted you to see my eyes. I wanted you to hear my heart versus a message or text. So that was my long way of saying that if you can meet with people in person so they can see and hear your heart versus a text or message. And if you can't meet with them in person, then even just doing the Zoom or doing a voice message, I think goes a lot further. What else? What am I forgetting, Kristen?
Do you want to share, and I think it's coming out and it's evident, but do you want to share your why?
Oh, yeah.
What's making Faye really successful and is tugging on people's heart is because of her emotional attachment to her why. And the next couple of weeks, we're going to kind of cultivate that and help you guys cultivate your why. But if you wouldn't mind sharing your why with us, that would be great.
Yeah, so my why started just like everybody else's at first. I just wanted to pay for my own product, and a few, I thought if I can just do that, then it's just not another expense. I'm not trying to brag or make anybody feel bad, but we don't need the net income necessarily from Juice Plus. I mean, my husband tells me, he's like, because I have my retirement pay and I have my disability pay, and And he's just like, if you just stay alive, Faye, you just need to wake up every day and you'll get paid. So he's just like, just wake up every day. So for me, this is much more than just the pay aspect. It's totally the fulfillment of just talking to my friends like Carla today and seeing how to help her and change her life, and then seeing people like Stephanie and seeing Stephanie's life, hopefully, definitely health-wise change, but hopefully financially change. And so my why, when I retired from the Air Force, I went through a depression, and I couldn't figure out why, because I knew I was supposed to be happy because I was home with my kids. I worked so hard for 20 years to do, and all these sacrifices, and I just was kind of lost. But this has given me a purpose again, and I think it's, I'll say it, it's the ability to lead again, because I think I was just really missing that leadership aspect that I had done for so long. So I think that that's another thing I think that really helps me in the business, is that I really do enjoy leading. I really do enjoy helping others. And so it just, I hope that it comes across. And so I do, when I talk to people, I tell them that it's just not about me. It's about you and making you feel better and helping, help change your life. Either it's physical or financial, but just changing your life that way. So that's what it's about for me. And just watching like Stephanie and Maria's not on here, but Maria and Linda and Madi and now Amber, I see Amber, but just seeing the whole team and like how they're growing and changing and being more bold and being more confident. And that's the part that I just really love. So I'm thankful to you, Kristen. I'm thankful to everybody on this team for teaching me so much, but that's what it really boils down to me. For me, is just helping others, serving others. That's what it is.
That is awesome, Faye. Thank you. I have a couple of things I want to talk about and finish up with, but I really wanted Faye, I wanted you guys to hear from Faye, because I know what Juice Plus has done for her. I mean, I have literally watched her transform these past few months, and then I have literally watched her transform the lives of so many other people. Like it's just very surreal because I'm watching it happen before my eyes. She's so bold in sharing, but it's not like she's saying it's not, well, maybe she didn't even say this, but it's not like she's just going after everyone. She is just truly sharing from her heart. And then to watch her lead her team. We are going to be doing some calls about your leadership skills, because I want to tap into some of that as well. You are an incredible leader, like an incredible leader. And I would love to just be like, sometimes be listening in on some of your conversations with people, because I want to know what you're saying to them. But you are really a great leader. And I know that God the timing was right, and God just put you in my path, or put me in your path, or however you want to look at it. I'm just blessed you're in my life. But I loved how you talked about, how that flip switched for you, because I feel like the same thing happened to me at some point, where that flip just switched, and I'm like, no, I'm not giving you something. You're getting something from me. Like, it is a gift, or I'm sorry, the opposite, but it is a gift that we're sharing with people. And if you don't feel that way yet, rest assured, hopefully that will happen. Hopefully that flip will switch, that you truly do feel like it's a gift you're giving to someone. But if you're struggling in that area, like maybe there's a lack of belief or something in the product. And I hope, or I'm just going to ask actually, how many of you guys were able to listen to Wendy Campbell's call, The Relationship Between Nutrition and Disease? I posted it on Team Solar sometime last week. It's about a 35-minute audio. That was super impactful, because I feel like she took all my words that are floating around in my brain that I'm not effective at getting out, and she was able to just share them, but not just share them from a nurse's perspective, which is huge, because that just creates so much more validation. So I've already used that call 2 times this week, and I just said to my friend, hey, will you come over and just listen to this call? I want you to know why I'm so crazy about my Juice Plus. And she can explain it way better than me. So yesterday I had a friend come over and we just sat and watched it together. Today I had a friend come over and we just sat and watched it together, because I am crazy about my Juice Plus. And it's not that I'm getting people over to watch this so they can be on the product or they can be on my team or they can do this or that or the other thing. I want them to understand that relationship between nutrition and disease. Like, yes, Juice Plus is the easiest thing they can do, but if they can understand that connection, that's way more powerful than them just taking a product. Because if people are just taking Juice Plus, but they have no idea why they're taking Juice Plus, they're not likely to stay on that product forever. They're not likely to understand that what Juice Plus is doing in them. So if we can give them that education from somebody else, not just us, but a third party who's got credible, who's credible. All I'm saying is take a look at that, watch that, and if you've got people on your mind, either watch it together, maybe watch it with some of your teammates, talk about it. She talks a lot about the research and why our research is so important, and she talks a lot about, she's been a nurse for 40 years. She talks about diseases that weren't even existent 40 years ago and are now. So take a look at that. I mean, it's going to strike everybody differently. It's going to strike you different than it strikes me, but it really did, again, just validate and reinforce why we love our Juice Plus so much. So like I said, she flipped that switch and it's a gift. I also wrote down that I think it's really important what you said about making the contact and having the follow-up. I want to break that into two things, because what's really great about you making that contact with people is that it's giving you practice. So maybe in the beginning you're not comfortable for asking for the follow-up information. Ultimately, you want to get to that point, because why make a contact if you can't follow up with them, But in the beginning, it's just great practice to get out there and just share, especially with people who you're never going to see again. Like, who cares what they think about you? So take that opportunity to just practice. And it may seem awkward, and it may be really uncomfortable, and it may not even come across right, or they may even be like, you're crazy. But so what, so what? You just stepped out of your comfort zone, and you're going to get better and better and better and more comfortable with it the more you do it. So I love that she leaves me boxers all the time with just random people that she talked to. She was in the hospital and she was talking to the doctor, and then she was talking to somebody in the waiting room. Then she talked to somebody where she had lunch, like the waitress. And then the waitress, there was somebody else listening, and then she had a conversation with that person. I mean, it was just like all over the place. But she's making these contacts, and it's propelling her forward because she's getting better and better and better and better. It's easier and easier and easier each time you do it. So if you're stuck in that stage where it's like, oh, this is still uncomfortable, awkward, just practice. Even if it's just talking to yourself in the mirror, just practice sharing your story. But then following up is really huge. Being able to say, hey, can we connect on Facebook? Or if you don't feel comfortable with that, hey, I wouldn't even say here's my business card, because if they take it, they're not going to call you. Say, hey, can I get your number? Or, could I email you? Or something like that. You ask them what they're comfortable with. And if they say no, that's totally fine too. It doesn't hurt to ask. And again, it's going to be better. You're going to be better and better and better at it as you do it. And then the other note that I took that you were saying is not giving up on people who you care about. I know sometimes in our minds, we're thinking we're being pushy or persistent, or whatever word you want to use. Persistent isn't necessarily a negative word, but pushy is. And if you think yourself as pushy, then you might be coming across as pushy. But if you switch that and you think, no, I'm not going to stop until they hear what I have to say, and they give it a good solid yes or a good solid no. And even then, a no hopefully will become a yes later anyway. A no is just really, they don't know what this is, and we need to just do some more education. They might not always come around, and that's okay, but it's all about the education, the knowledge and the education, the information, giving the information out there. So not giving up on people you care, but I do love the stories that Faye leaves on Voxer about, well, your brother. You just shared it with us the other day about your brother, which was really, really exciting. So thank you so much for sharing all of that. I'm going to ask you to put together some stuff to share on your leadership skills too, and the types of things that you do as a leader, because you really are an amazing leader, and we are blessed to learn from you. So thank you. Did you want to add anything else?
Yeah, there was one more thing I wanted to say. And that's just that everybody has their own style. And, because I watched you, Kristen, for months before I joined, and part of what held me back was like, oh, I'm not that bubbly. I'm not that, I'm just not that. And I think it's really important for everybody just to figure out what their own style is and just go with it, whatever you're comfortable with, sort of. I mean, to an extent, I still laugh because people say, there's still people I talk to about joining and they're like, oh, I could never do this. I could, do a salad party or whatever. And I'm like, you realize like I never had a home party for, 20 years or whatever it was, so I had to step outside my comfort zone. And now it's the first couple I was so worried about everything. And now it's just like, oh, I can throw one together in a day, and just do it. But it's definitely about getting out of your comfort zone to a certain extent, but not to the point where it's obvious to other people that you're uncomfortable, but just your own style. Everybody's is different. And just like I told my mom, her way of sharing is just going to be probably just one-on-one conversations with their friends as she's talking to them. So it's just going to be, whatever's comfortable for you guys.
Okay, sorry, mailman's here.
We can't all be a Kristen.
No, and I don't want you all to be a me. We don't need any more Kristens. I'm just saying. Be a Faye, be a Marcia, be a Virginia, be a Stephanie. You guys be you and do this. Because if you look around our entire Shooting Stars team, oh my gosh, yes, there's some of us that have similar personalities and we mesh well with different people, but we're all so different and so unique, so different. So it's pretty great. So, okay, I hope you guys I just wanted to wrap it up with a few things to tidy up. If you haven't watched that Wendy Campbell call, it's just a few posts down in Team Solar. So go check that out. And then the 7 NMDs, did you guys see that? I shot that in there today. I think that's going to be kind of neat, just hanging out with the NMDs and just asking them questions. And it's our NMDs and then a sideline buddy, Kimberly Warlow, and her team. And I really, really admire Kimberly Warlow and what she's done with her team. It's pretty incredible. So I know there's going to be some really great training on there. The graphic is in Team Solar. It's this Friday at 11 a.m. Central and December 9th at 11 a.m. Central. Our next call with Peggy, did you guys see that graphic? It looks like she's just going to be talking about, what did it say?
Conversation.
The art of conversation, yes. So if you're struggling conversing with people, this might be a really good one to get on. I think we can all benefit from hearing what other people say and how other people talk to other people. So that's happening right after this. I think that's all I have. Do you guys have anything else? We've got 2 minutes left. Any other questions or? Okay. In the next few weeks, we're going to talk about some leadership stuff with Faye, and then we're really going to also really focus on cultivating our stories and our why. So your why should make you cry. So we've got to figure out what that is. What emotional contact do you have? Yeah, that's right, Marcia. I'm going to make you cry. I'm going to make
Not everybody has to cry.
Your why, you want to have that emotional impact to where it does. It brings you to tears because that's what people are going to resonate with when you're sharing with them. And then your story. There's 4 things to your story. The background, what you didn't like about what you didn't like about it. You're going to find how you found a solution and how you feel about the future. We're going to talk about those 4 things. The most impactful of those 4 things is the what you didn't like about your past. Because again, it makes yourself vulnerable when you're sharing with other people, and that's when you make that connection. It's easier to make that connection when you're a little bit more vulnerable. Again, it might be uncomfortable, but the more you share it, the better, the easier it gets every single time. So we'll be working on stories and whys, and just check Team Solar for some stuff on that to kind of help prompt you guys in which direction to go and how to kind of start your story and work on your story and stuff. And of course, always you can box with any questions. Okay?
So I have a question real quick. So I kind of have a little bit of a cold right now, and I don't know what it came from, but it's annoying. And I've been trying to work on one of my friends who I walk to school with every day. And I've been telling her like how great I feel and stuff, and I don't know how to explain this to her. Like, I haven't been on it long enough, or whatever. I have been cleaning up 8 dogs poop and pee every day. So and I'm allergic to dogs, so I'm pretty sure those are all factors as to why I'm sick. But I've been trying to work on her for a little while, and she hasn't even asked, like, well, what's Juice Plus? I've just been telling her, oh, I do this and it's great, and I do this and it's great, and I do this and it's great, and I don't know how to, because she's going to see me being sick and she's going to be like, that doesn't work.
Well, it's not like a magic pill. I wouldn't say it's a magic pill. People are still going to get sick. People are still not going to feel well. Marsha's not feeling well right now. Like, honestly, if it truly made everybody not get sick ever, then everybody would be on Juice Plus.
Yeah.
And it just kind of, there's so much more external factors and other internal factors that are all going on that it's not going to just keep you from getting sick constantly. Does that make sense? So how do you say that to her? Well, I mean, I would just say, dang it, I haven't been sick for so long. And I don't know if maybe it seems like it's going to go way faster, or if...
Because I feel fine.
Yeah.
It's just coming out.
Yeah. And I don't even know if you necessarily need to even say anything about it. You just be like, this sucks, darn it. But, oh, well, I'm getting over it faster, which is cool. Or, I don't know, does anybody else have anything they want to say to that?
Well, I'm super sick right now, Stephanie, to the point of being on breathing treatments, and I have asthma, and I haven't been sick in forever, like a long time. Matter of fact, are you military by chance?
Yeah.
So I'm on an EFMP program for my asthma and allergies, and I haven't taken medication in over 2 years, and I'm supposed to be on like all this asthma and allergy medicine. So when I went into the doctor, he's like, well, what are you doing daily? And I'm like, nothing. I don't take anything. And so, yeah, I'm going to get sick. And it's funny because I have a whole group of people that are my friends. They're like, oh my gosh, look at you, Miss Juice Plus. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sick, but I'm sick. How often do you guys see me sick? And on top of that, yeah, I am bad sick. Like, I'm on breathing treatments, but I am not on a steroid, and that's huge. So it's just like Kristen said, it's not going to make you not sick. And a reason why I'm sick is just like you, when you said you were cleaning up after the dogs. I've just run myself to the ground with all these events, and I had 2 more events that I planned on Friday and Saturday that I was in charge of, and I just was stressed about it, running myself ragged. And then I was doing a whole bunch of homeopathic stuff, and it was working, but I wasn't consistent. And then I decided that I'd go ahead, even though I knew I was sick, and I went and had wine at this party on Friday night, and I know that just triggered it and made it even worse.
Yeah.
To the point where my remedies weren't going to work anymore. I'd gone past that and needed to get some medication. So, yeah, it's not that Juice Plus is going to make you never sick, but it's definitely, I could be way worse. Like, honest to goodness, normally I would never be able to go 2 weeks without seeing the doctor in my past. I would be in the doctor in 3 days and have an upper respiratory infection and be on a steroid and pneumonia. That's how bad it was. So, yeah, I'm definitely can say how much Juice Plus has changed for myself and also for our son. So, yeah, even though you get sick, it's just like Kristen said, it's an awesome testament for me personally to see how bad I used to be, and how even my mom is a Juice Plus customer. And she's been checking in to see how I've been doing. And she goes, well, darling, she's from the South. Well, darling, you haven't been to the doctor in the longest time. And I'm like, I know, Mom, it's that Juice Plus. So even my mom knows what a testament it is for me not to be in the hospital or something like that. So, yeah, just hang in there with them and show them how quickly you bounce back. So. But Kristen, I haven't been on the Facebook page. Oh, I'm sorry, Stephanie. Kristen, I haven't been on the Facebook page. Did you say it's the normal Zoom with Peggy?
Zoom, 228-620-0510. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, what were you saying, Stephanie?
Normally my cold's like the first day of the cold or whatever, like feeling it coming on, I would just be dead and gone and be like, okay, bye guys, I'm going to go die in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Talk to me, don't look at me. And I've been able, I worked out today. I got clean at school. I feel totally fine. It's just coming out of me. And I'm like, this is annoying.
No, that's good. That's what you share. Then that's what you share. Is I feel yes, you hear this, but I feel great, and it needs to come out. Stuff goes in, it needs to come out. So you know, your body's doing the right thing by fighting it off, and it's healthy fighting it off. So
I have to say, Stephanie. Oh, what was that?
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to tell Stephanie too that I almost private messaged her because I thought that my memory served that she was the sewer. Mm-hmm. And I was about to lose my mind making that pennant banner for Kately this morning. But I figured it out because I knew she was on a different time zone and she wouldn't be able to answer me in time.
Well, I probably would have been up. You can message me anytime.
All right, you guys. We will hop on Peg's call, and I will see you guys next week. Thanks,
Thank you. Thanks for sharing, Faye.
Bye, guys.